Boom. And we are live with another episode of the Brown Water Banter podcast, digital. I am Jared Seymour.
My name is Joey Cates.
Oh, and he's on the mic. I love it. We got a good show for you, man. This is kind of impromptu, super quick. Wanted to get it out in a timely fashion. We have the guys from the Neptune's Trident Foundation. They're going to be doing disaster relief for the our brothers over in Tylertown, our fellow Mississippi brothers over in Tylertown. They got smashed by the tornadoes that hit this past weekend. But before we do that, before we start that conversation, we're going to thank the people that keep the digital lights on too. Keeps the internet's working for us at the Brownwater Studio right out of the gate. Dr. Robbie Williams over at Southern Magnolia Smiles, man. If you're looking for a great local dentist, they are located on Washington Avenue right over here in Ocean Springs. You can follow them on the socials at Southern Magnolia Smiles on Facebook and Instagram. And when you're ready to book that consultation and get those teeth cleaned and shining pretty, you can give them a shout at 228-215-1202. Like Joey said, 2025 is the year to brush your teeth, and tell them Brownwater sent you. If you find yourself in need of legal representation, Taylor & Cox Law Firm is practicing law right here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. They are in Jackson County, George County, and Greene County. They can handle all of your legal needs, man. Felonies, misdemeanors, DUI, family law, divorce, child custody issues, you name it. Taylor & Cox Law Firm is going to fight tooth and nail for you. That's our buddy Tyler right there. You can give him a call at 228-696-0111 and let him know that you heard about him from the Brownwater Banter podcast. It is March, and if you're still trying to get back into the gym and get to feeling better and prioritizing your health, Forever Young men's and women's health is the one you're looking for, man. Check them out on the social platforms as well. Kendrick's got a lot of really, really good informational content that he puts out there about how to optimize your health. His slogan is, or his saying, I should say, is that they're bringing medicine, health, and exercise together to help men and women live their best life. Go back and search the podcast that we did with him and see how he can do some lab work on you, figure out if you're vitamin deficient or you need any kind of hormone replacement therapy. They specialize in testosterone replacement therapy for both men and women. So book that consultation with them by giving them a call at 228-363-6623 and tell them Brownwater sent you. Coming up in just a couple weeks, we have the third annual Bay Rat Bash for 2025. It's going to be April the 5th over at Dewey Bugs in D'Iberville. That's going to be presented by us here at Brownwater Banter and the guys over at Fish in the South. Weigh-in is going to be from 5 to 6. You can register now on brownwaterbanter.com. It's a $25 fee for the hardhead division, plus some fees that we got on there as well. You can register for the hardhead division and then decide if you want to fish any of the subcategories after that. But you can turn that entry fee into $1,000 first place hardhead catfish for the single largest fish and $500 for second place. And the subsequent categories are going to have payouts of $400 for first and $100 for second. If you're a dive guy and you want to shoot some fish, there's also a separate spearfish division. So just go to brownwaterbanter.com, click on the registration tab right there when you land on the page, and get to fishing. And we'll see you at the weigh-in. It's a family-friendly event. Even if you don't fish the tournament, come hang out with us at Dewey Bugs. It's going to be a good time. Did I beat you?
Yeah.
Sweet. Love it. You're still sharing it out, right? Let's go ahead and bring the guys in from the Trident. That
didn't work. That did not work. Jared's got dial-up internet. Jared, you're like frozen. You're frozen. Nobody can. You're lagged out.
Well,
what you boys want to talk about?
There he goes.
That's great.
There he goes.
Let's go ahead and bring the guys in.
All right, so here we go. About the Trident Foundation and our relief efforts for the tornado victims. There he is.
I'm back. Had a little glitch, I guess.
You still
but am I good? Can you hear me?
No, you're bad. Your face is stopping everything. There we go. Now we can rock and roll. All right, introduce yourselves. Tell us who we got in the studio tonight.
Hey, I'm Philip Pogue, president of the Trident Foundation.
And Jonathan Jones, JJ. I'm a volunteer for the Trident Foundation and a member of the Krewe of Neptune.
All right, one of y'all, we know y'all do a lot of work with Neptune, but it's actually separate from Neptune, the Trident Foundation. Is that correct?
That's correct. We're the nonprofit partner for Neptune, Krewe of Neptune.
Yeah, explain a little bit on what y'all do and some of the stuff that y'all have overtaken. I know you did some hurricane work. We do some stuff around here for cookouts and stuff like that. Now we're headed to tornado stuff. So give us a few examples of what y'all got going on.
Well, Larry Richardson at the time headed up a lot of people going to the Hurricane Helene in North Carolina. I believe some of you guys went on that, right?
John did. No,
yeah.
we thought about it, but we couldn't get everything lined up when they left pretty quick, if I remember right, like 2-3 weeks.
Right. And then we, of course, we sent like some of the money we got collected after the fact. We were able to send up, I think, $5,000 worth of space heaters after the team may come back.
Right.
And they fed, I forgot the number of people they fed while they were up there and did a lot of help.
Yeah, it was over 2,000 plates were served in one day by a lean crew of volunteers, and it was it was very rewarding. It was a lot of effort goes into these, these when we mobilize on these relief efforts like this. There's a lot of work that goes into it behind the scenes and on site.
Yeah, I know y'all had a ragtag.
We lost the audio, Joe.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, Joey's audio went bad.
Right.
All right, we got all kinds of stuff going on. Y'all got me now?
Yeah, you're back.
All right. Yeah, so y'all headed up there pretty quick. Like y'all got the y'all swung into the Butcher on Tucker, if I'm not mistaken, right? And got the pulled pork and stuff like that.
Yes, we did. That was wonderful. Butcher on Tucker is always a good partner for the Krewe of Neptune and the Trident Foundation. Anytime we have an event like this, we can always reach out to those guys and they step up. He had smoked I forgot how many, 30 or 40 Boston butts. And we drove up there with them and served pulled pork sandwiches. We had Kaneka sausage donated. I think it was 300 pounds of sausage that we stopped by their factory on the way up, met with the owner.
And, yeah, that's a Mississippi brand. A lot of people forget that, right?
I think it's Alabama. I think it's Alabama.
Alabama. Yeah, Alabama. Yeah, you're right.
Right. But that's our sister state. We ain't mad at them.
Right.
But that Kaneka sausage, I got to tell you, a lot of people in North Carolina hadn't had it before, and they were all blown away. We had a line. People were waiting for food in our line starting around 8 o'clock. We were Vernon Broom was supposed to be on the call with us tonight. He was cooking breakfast for the crew. We'd been setting up and we were trying to get a little something in our stomachs, and he never stopped. He never stepped away from that flat top, that Blackstone grill, from the minute he started cooking breakfast that morning until we shut down that evening.
He was wearing them eggs out, huh?
Man, it was incredible, the number of people that showed up and the amount of food we were able to pump out, like you said, with our little ragtag group of folks. So it was really cool. It was a neat experience. I made some lifelong friends. That's one of the things about doing this type of work is, yes, you have an impact on the victims you're helping, but it has an impact on us as well. And the brotherhood that grows from those type of trips and those type of events, it's hard to put it into words. And that's kind of, I guess that ties in with the Krewe of Neptune. I'm a new member, but I've been hanging out with you guys for a while, and I can really say that's an advantage to being in the crew. Is I've got a list of 100 people I could call at 2 o'clock in the morning on the side of the road, and somebody's coming.
Right, somebody will be there.
Yep.
Yeah, I, if I'm not mistaken, didn't y'all roughed it, right? Y'all were sleeping in tents in the back of trucks and all kinds of stuff.
We did. If you could picture this, Yule Grace went with us with Yule's place down on the causeway, and he rode shotgun with me.
He's a big old dude.
That's a big dude. And I told him
Yeah.
straight up, I was like, man, I love you, but you ain't sleeping in tent with me.
No shot.
And so he had to go to Walmart, get his own tent, his own air mattress and all that. We pulled in at like 1 a.m. and yeah, dude, we pitched our tents, blew up our air mattresses. We were up before daylight, and it was a long, hard day. But at the end of the day, we were all whooped, and but the smiles on our faces and the people we had helped and the friendships we made and relationships and bonds, it was incredible. It was a lifelong experience, memories I'll take to my grave.
Well, it was kind of like the United States government. I mean, FEMA, all that stuff kind of left them out to dry. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, it was crazy.
They said, this is what we got. And then now we don't have that anymore. So y'all figure it out. And they didn't realize in about 3 weeks, it was going to be freezing cold. Nobody had any place to stay. Nobody had hot water, any of that stuff.
Yeah. It was a different deal. Normally hurricanes hit the coast, in a subtropical climate, like where we live.
Right.
And you don't have to deal with snow and ice. And one of the biggest issues they had, where it's a very rural mountainous area, and a lot of their wells were flooded, which makes them not safe to drink.
Right.
And they're still having a big issue. It's hard to drill a well in mountain country. So that's something they're still struggling with in that area. But there were a lot of unique challenges to the North Carolina hurricane that, we don't normally face here on the coast. The coast is very linear. The damage is very linear. It starts at the beach and it works its way inland.
Right.
There it was pockets. You would drive through one town that was completely untouched, and the very next town would be wiped off the map.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
So the logistics of trying to get to all of those victims, and it was a different type of deal. A lot of helicopters and machinery and horses and mules. Actually, Lauren Bird, a contact I made through that adventure, she's a whitewater kayaker.
Wow.
She's actually, I believe she's on the Olympic team this year. And she was operating search and rescue missions with her kayak where they were looking for bodies up and down the river in places that people couldn't get to. Anyway, I'm friends with her brother, Buddha. He's a charter captain. And anyway, so it was quite an adventure. We were able to help a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it was very rewarding.
So so with the Trident Foundation, where are these funds that are raised? Where does this all come from to be able to go out and do this stuff?
Well, the Trident Foundation has several fundraising events, like our golf tournament coming up, and we've always helped with the different events from Neptune also. So it's all raised money that we've raised, in the organization, and there's a lot of things we have to do with that money. So we always save some for the like disaster
Right.
programs like this.
Yeah, and it's all non-profit, right? Everything y'all get donated is a tax write-off. You can give all that stuff. So if anybody wants to donate, this is where you need to do it, right?
That's right. That's right. We are a 501(c)(3). So we are set up, and that's why we did it. That's why the Trident Foundation came about, so that we could, for our corporate partners, take donations and be able to give them a receipt for that, so that they can put that on their taxes.
Right. Are y'all kind of doing the same? Because that stuff that went through Tylertown, that was a big tornado, and that's way scarier than a hurricane to me, because a hurricane's coming a week or so in advance. Tornadoes dropping down in 30 seconds and just destroy. I think it was on the ground for 70 miles or something like that is what I heard.
Right. It's and that's a rural area already. A lot of those people didn't have anything to start with. So, here we're coming in to put pieces back together as best we can. And the Krewe of Neptune is about 500 members of really good people. And I'm sure y'all know a lot of them. Some of them y'all are members also. To be part of the Trident Foundation, you also have to be a member of Neptune.
Right.
Line 8.
Here we go.
So what's going to happen next Saturday on the 29th is that 50 people have already committed, I believe, and they're going to be bringing all sorts of equipment, skid steers, tractors, all sorts of different heavy equipment. People are bringing chainsaws, and we're bringing our food trailer. And the Trident Foundation has already pledged the money to pay for the food.
Right.
So, and we hope to, I forgot, I think they've already ordered 30 butts. So we plan on putting an enormous amount of food out, and, and then the members of Neptune, it's been just overwhelming, the response that we've gotten from the crew. And, like I said, you got a tenth of the membership headed up next, at this point, it's just a tenth. It may be even more next Saturday, to be part of this and to, offer a hand and try to help people that are in dire need. And just so you know, this is a brand new board that we came together after the way the board is now. We came together after Helene, so we learned a lot from what they did, and we're going to change the dynamic of how we handle things moving forward. So we're really trying to show what we are as a board and come together on this and make this a big response, as big as we can.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't realize what Neptune is. Neptune is we got line 1, 2, 3, all the way to 8, but really we're just one big brotherhood. And like John said, it's just a Rolodex. Like you put out a message and then you got that many people that quick coming to do what they can.
One of the things that struck me as a newer member is all of the. So I've had people, well, why would you join? That you can just get a ticket to the ball. Right. It's a lot. It's so much more than just the ball. But the extracurricular activities, the unscheduled things. We all have group chats with our lines and just a random, hey guys, we're downtown OS, who wants to come hang out every weekend. There's so much you gain from it. I really, really am glad that we joined, and being able to volunteer and be a part of the Trident Foundation and the work that they do is all the more reason to be a member.
Yeah. Right. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Did you say earlier you had to be a member to be in the Trident Foundation? Is that what you said?
100%. You have to be a standing member of the Krewe of Neptune to be on the Trident board at all. Now, people can volunteer and help us that aren't part of Neptune, but to be on our board, it's in our bylaws. You must be a member.
I got you. And that's voted on by
the executive board of the Trident Foundation.
Okay. All right. So what's the plan going forward up to Tylertown? I know we got material. I mean, we got skid steers. We got all these bucket trucks going. Are we taking donations, any stuff like that?
That's right. Everybody that we've talked to, I said this on WLX yesterday, everybody that's we've been in contact with has offered to help in some way or another. And a lot of people are not going to be able to go. So, we want to show them how they can help through our foundation. And we've got a PayPal account set up, and I think y'all have the QR code for that.
Yeah. I'm trying to find it. I'm digging through right here. Hold on.
That's right. So, with nonprofit, foundations, a lot of them charge an administrative fee. We're a brotherhood of Neptune. There are people from every facet of life. This is just a brotherhood. 100% of the proceeds, 100% go to the Tylertown community. I mean, we're doing every bit of what we collect will go into that.
That's a very important. I don't mean to interject here, but that's a very important point that he's making. Like Philip said earlier, we do fundraising throughout the year to help with the administrative cost of actually running the Trident Foundation, right? And everyone's volunteers. There's nobody on the payroll, right?
That's right.
That's very important for people to understand. This isn't one of those charities where half of your dollar goes to the actual people that you're trying to help because it gets eaten up by the bureaucracy.
Right.
We don't operate that way. But it's very important to understand this, that we raise our own money for the things that we need, like the cooking trailer, right? And we do that through donations and fundraising. When we collect money for an event like this, like we did for the hurricane, or like we're doing for Tylertown, 100% of those dollars go to that event. They go to that cause. When we came back from Hurricane Helene from North Carolina, we still had $5,000 in the account. Well, we spent every dime of that on heaters and shipped them up there to the mayor actually received them and helped distribute those. So it's important for people to realize if you're given to a particular cause, your money is being spent on that cause.
Right. I know one problem y'all had in North Carolina was finding an actual contact, like somebody to let's get boots on the ground. How has this been in Tylertown? It's probably a little easier than what it was in North Carolina, right?
Correct. We already have multiple contacts up there. We're dealing with some of the emergency management people that are on the ground already. There's been family members and a preacher or two that have come forward that we're going to make contact when we get there. So they'll be ready for us, and they'll know what we're doing well in advance. Today,
we got confirmation from the owners of the strip mall where the Piggly Wiggly is in Tylertown.
That's got to be the party spot.
You know,
if there's a Piggly Wiggly in Tylertown, it's got to be the party spot.
Remember the K-Mark Cowboys back in the day in D'Iberville?
I might have had a cowboy hat on once or twice.
So, I reached out to the manager of the Piggly Wiggly. He was awesome. Gave us his blessing, and then he put me in touch with the people who own the property and had an email exchange and a couple of phone calls with them. And today we got confirmation that we will be setting up at the parking lot of the Piggly Wiggly at Tylertown. And that's for our food. That's for the food we're going to be giving away to the community. Hot plates, Boston butts, hamburgers, hot dogs, coleslaw, cowboy beans. And that's for first responders, anybody that's affected by the storm, victims, obviously, volunteers, anybody wants to come by and get a hot plate, we'll be there that day on March the 29th. Our cleaning crews with the machinery, they will be deployed throughout the community. So we're bringing multiple tractors, like Philip said, some skid steers, dump trailers, lots of good old boys with chainsaws and trucks. And we're just going to deploy throughout the community and try to help as many people as we can.
Yeah. I know you're doing this stuff down here on the coast, but how are the people in Tylertown and stuff like that? How are they going to get the message that y'all are going to be there? Are you blasting it up there? Are you getting your contacts to blast it out there?
Well, things like what we're doing today,
I think the way it's going to be coordinated is through the emergency management people up there. I think they're going to send us where we need to go.
Yeah, because
I know they have one of the fire chiefs already involved. So,
yeah, we always correlate this back to Katrina, and you know how fun Katrina was, trying to find out who was doing this, where it was happening. Can I get there? Can we do any of that stuff? So having somebody in charge really helps out.
Indeed, it's an important point you make. Is pretty much everyone that's involved with the Trident Foundation was affected by Katrina in some way, and that's part of what we bring to when we go on these relief efforts. Is we've been there and done that and got the T-shirt, and so we kind of have it. I think that's why we're drawn towards this type of work. Because we've been there. We know what it feels like to lose everything.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, and anything that you can relate to on the coast is either before Katrina or after Katrina. That's the only two where it was.
Yeah. So we're collecting donations. There's actually a list. It's on the Krewe of Neptune Facebook page and the Trident Foundation Facebook page. There are some drop-off points between Pascagoula and Gulfport, all along the coast. List of things that we're collecting: tarps, gloves, water, hygiene items. The basic stuff that you need after a hurricane.
Right.
I think plastic totes are in high demand, and tarps are toward the top of the list. But we'll be blasting out that list even more. Shout out to Dunaway Signs. They hooked us up with some really nice posters, and they've been a longtime partner of the Trident Foundation. They wouldn't take a dime. So, we appreciate those community partners like Dunaway Signs.
Yeah. And you said you're going to get a list of where all these donations can go. Is there a website? Y'all's website should have that on there. Is it what you're saying?
The Krewe of Neptune.org and TridentFoundation.com.
And that's going to have all the drop-off sites.
I think there's 9 drop-off sites, and I believe they're listed.
Yeah, Trident Foundation's .org as well. They're both
right.
But yeah, they're multiple drop-off sites, and just reach out to us. It's all over Facebook, social media, and somebody can meet with you, or you can drop it off however you want to do it.
Yeah, and I think Jared's still here. I see him at the backstage. So if anybody wants to do a money donation, don't have time to go grab it, you still will do that as well, right? And everything's going to Tylertown, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if Jared could flash that PayPal link back up for us. There it is right there.
Yep, y'all can screenshot that. Just take a screenshot right now on your phone, scan it with your wife's phone or your friend's phone, and that'll take you straight to our Trident Foundation PayPal account.
That works, guys. I know it's tough doing these internet shows because you got internet going out, microphones going out. But is there anything else we didn't cover?
I think we're good. Just a thank you to all the volunteers and the people who have already donated, and to the folks like Larry Richardson and Vernon Broom, and there's too many of them to name. Kenny Foreman. There's so many people working behind the scenes, and you'll never see their face or hear their voice. But without those kind of guys, none of this stuff happens. So thank you to them.
Yeah. And give us a rundown again about when the donations stop and when y'all are heading up.
I think we'll be taking donations all the way up to the last minute, but we're heading up. We'll be heading out of town early Saturday morning from the Krewe of Neptune float den, headed and it's on Saturday the 29th. And if people want to go with us, they're more than welcome to go and help. And if they can't go, we certainly need those funds. Anything you could give would help. Okay,
so today's the 21st, so it's next Saturday, not this Saturday. Next Saturday, y'all are heading up. So you got a whole week if you want to give, if you want to volunteer, get in touch with it. What's the best way to get in touch with y'all if anybody wants to do that?
To any of the sites, you can leave a message. Either one of the sites, you can leave a message. Our Facebook pages, and we all get them, so we'll make sure that we get back to you. Anybody that wants information, and anybody wants to drop off supplies at any of those drop-off places, we welcome that. And man, we appreciate anything that anybody does. And for us, it's all about giving back.
Yeah. And we appreciate it too. We're Line 3 members. I mean, we're mostly the best. I mean, we're not going to hold that out on anybody, but it is a great honor for us to be able to have y'all on the show, and just to do our little part of getting it out there means a lot to us. And I know you got a whole crew behind you, so I think it's going to be great.
It is, man.
Thank you guys.
It's amazing to see the outpouring of support from all the lines.
100%. Well, if there's anything else, guys, let me know right now.
We're good.
Think we're it? All right. Well, appreciate y'all coming by. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us, and best of luck. I hope y'all don't have to sleep in tents or any of that stuff. I hope y'all got a little comfy bed this time, but y'all are doing great acts. And I think you see it in the people's eyes that y'all serve. And we thank y'all for that, for sure.
Thank you.
Line 1.
All right, man. Line 3.
Line 8.
Yeah, y'all take it easy. All right, that was it. I know we kind of had some electronic glitches, internet glitches. I don't even know where Jared's at, if he's still here, if he's still alive. He might have been EMP'd, but we appreciate y'all tuning in. Remember, go sign up for the Bay Rat Bash. It's live on the internet right now, brownwaterbetter.com. If you want to donate, get in touch with anybody who's in Neptune, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Later. Just kidding. I guess we're still live if anybody's watching. I don't know what I'm doing.